What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Man, we were supposed to be working on this project Fox in the last video, but we didn't do a lot to it. Well, there's a reason. So what I want to do today is take you guys around, show you some of the improvements that we made with the shop, right? Because if you're not happy in your shop or your garage or your driveway or your yard or wherever you're working, if you can make life better, you're going to get more work done. So I went ahead, got some much needed stuff done to the shop. So let's go ahead and look at that. All right, so first off, we'll start over here in this corner. Now everything's still kind of junky, but it's a shop, it is what it is. So as you all know, I used to have a plastic cabinet here, and then this was just filled up with just junk. Okay, so what we've got going on here is this is now, I got a new metal cabinet, by the way. This is gonna be our paint cabinet now. Up here we have all of our sandpaper and our different grits. We'll have some strainers. Here's just like reducers, lacquer thinners, cleaners. There is some clear coat over here, some 498 and some 465. Here are, well, two of my guns. I've got the other gun apart right now, cleaning it up. Some of my blocks down here, and just some rust inhibitor. This Zero Rust works really good. If you guys don't know, I'll be using that on the cowl of the 65. Just some kind of quick self-etching primer in a can. That stuff works good as well. Here's all of my putties. I use a lot of this Polyglaze and this Fiberfill. This Fiberfill right here, guys, is really awesome. It's kind of like the old kitty hair, if you guys remember that. And we've got some seam sealer in here. We do have some primer back here, some 2K primer for the Fox body. And right here we have Chassis Saver POR 15, POR 15. This is basically the same stuff right here. That will also be going on the cowl. Down here we just have some, you know, stuff for my gun and things like that. Some disposable cups right here for like primer. So we needed this, right? Big time. This crap that I had was horrible. Over here, this is going to be my sanding cart. So like if I go out here and I want to work on the Project Fox, I can just pull this cart out. I'll have my sander, I'll have, you know, whatever sandpaper, whatever I'm using for the day, I'll just load it up on this cart and take it out there. And this is probably the thing I'm most excited about. I finally found this thing at Harbor Freight. I had been looking for one for a while and they didn't have it. And all it is literally just a sprayer, a pump up sprayer. And I use that when I'm wet sanding a lot of times, if I don't want to drag the water hose around, if I'm just doing a small spot. And I also use that to wet down the side of the car while it's still in primer, so I can see if the side of the car is straight. Now, I know there's an argument out there about don't wet primer and things like that. Whatever. I like to do it. It gives me a good sense of if the car is straight or not. All right, so if you'll pay attention, you'll notice that something is missing over there. Well, here it is. We now have a proper air compressor and a pretty good water separation system going on here. So the air compressor's outside. I'll take you guys out there in a second to show you. This is just a Harbor Freight water separator. It's pretty nice though, guys. I've gotta say, I'm really impressed with this thing. Operation is really smooth, nothing grinds or anything like that. No leaks, as you can see. This thing's still holding pressure really good from earlier. And obviously the air compressor is now outside. That hose runs across over here and comes up to right here. And I was going to do a nice retractable hose reel, but yeah, I opted out of that. I didn't want that thing to like take off on me and, you know, working on a car or something and that thing retract and just whip all through the garage and just tear stuff up. So yeah, I just opted out of that. But I just stuck a bolt back here for this. But yeah, nice little 50-foot hose. Got it from Harbor Freight as well. And man, this thing is nice, guys. Look at that. You can tell that that's a nice hose, right? It's not all stiff. I like that a lot. Thing holds really good by itself. Pretty much leaves it, you know, kind of draping down like that. But I like to just push a bolt through it like that and keep it the way I want to. You know, I got to do some type of rigging, right? If you ain't rigging, you ain't riding. This is a Braun hood light. I got this from Harbor Freight as well. And man, this thing's sweet. It's not overly bright or anything like that, but I really like this. I've been needing something to go on the inside of the car, like when I'm doing interior work, which we will be doing here pretty soon. And then I needed a good hood light. Everybody needs a good hood light. This thing was like $35 or $39. It's rechargeable, and so far it's lasted for hours at a time and it's not died. It's not super bright, but it's perfect. Trust me, it's exactly what you need. I'll go ahead, lift the hood on this car and show you guys. How about that? Now I had to just drill some holes in my hood to be able to use this light. It needed some anyway. Had no holes down the side of this thing, so let's pop some nice little holes with the old Christmas tree step up bit, whatever you want to call it. So that's low and that's high. That's really about all you would ever need. That gives you plenty of light where you can see under the car if you're working on it, especially at night. During the day like this, you're not going to notice that big of a difference, but I absolutely love this thing. It's magnetic on the ends, and this thing kind of unscrews, and then it has like a bungee cord. Let me just show you. So this thing unscrews right here, and then it has a bungee cord attachment. So essentially you can stretch it to do whatever you want to do. That'll allow you to hook it wherever, kind of, you know, whatever you need to do. So I typically never do videos like this, but I figured why not, right? We need to do some shop update videos. So you guys can kind of see my train of thought, my mindset on how I go about doing things. You have to prioritize as things come to you. Situations are going to change, meaning I was going to prioritize this car like this weekend, right? This car was going to be my sole focus. And I started thinking, I'm like, you know, I don't really have all the tools that I need to focus on this car. My air compressor, just not going to run a sander like it needs to. I risk getting water in the line, water in the paint whenever I do my door jams and things like that. And then I thought, man, I don't even know what paint I have because that cabinet was falling apart on the inside and I couldn't tell like what I had. I needed to get organized and I needed a plan of action. Everything's got a trade-off, right? Every positive, there's going to be a negative. Now we don't have the money to paint the car, so we're going to have to wait a little while. We spend our money elsewhere. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Guys, don't lose faith in me. I promise you, I just had to get myself back motivated again with a few parts and things like that to make my shop a little bit more functional. I didn't really do much over here. You know, you're always going to have these corners of your shop where things just kind of get stuffed, and that's kind of what happens over here. You guys have seen this before, but this is essentially just my, you know, cleaning supply rack and stuff like that. And this big fan that we've not needed all year, we're about to need here real soon. Could have used it today. These are all the old 65 parts that I have to decide what I'm going to do with. I think me and Papa T are going to look into some type of containment trailer, Sealand, whatever you guys want to call them. And because we have a ton of parts, this is nothing, but we got a ton of parts over at the other shop that need to be put up, so we're probably going to look into something like that to store things. You start running out of floor space, you know what I mean? And as you can see here, we're just about out of floor space. Luckily I have about everything in the shop that I need, but yeah, it's just the way it is, right? All of our wheels are now up here. We have no more room for wheels. I've got the anniversary wheels over here. I robbed the tires off the anniversary wheels because I was just simply too lazy to take these off. And to be honest with you, I really like this car with these wheels, so whatever. All right, enough of all that, enough of all that. So look, I want to take you around back. You guys have never been back here. It is a freaking mess. The amount of boxes that I've accumulated in about 2 weeks' time is horrible. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Most of these boxes are only maybe about 3 weeks old, something like that. This is what I've accumulated. So here is the compressor. I picked this thing up from Rural King. It's, well, right here, 60 gallon, 155 PSI max, single stage, 60 gallon. So nothing crazy, but it works, and this will work out perfect for me. 60 gallons is all you need to paint cars. You don't even need that much. But I did go ahead and put a little water separator right here coming straight off, and then this is just some nice Goodyear hose that is running into the shop. Now, something that my dad does on his that we are going to do on mine is this line here that comes from the compressor and goes down into your tank to pressurize it. We're going to take that off and replace it with copper line, and we're going to bring that copper line out and come down over here into a 55 gallon drum of water and coil it up inside of that drum and then run it back into the tank. Now what that'll do is basically cool the air off before it goes into the tank, and it'll help with condensation and water buildup and stuff like that. But yeah, we just threw something up back here. Well, this is some stuff we had laying around. We got us a little top here, and we're going to come in with some insulation on the sides and on the back here. So in between the compressor and the wall, we're basically just going to build a 3-sided little wall deal here. Look at that. It's Aubrey. You guys hadn't seen her in a while.
Hello.
All right, be safe.
I will. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
So Aubrey's leaving. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's the shop update. Nothing crazy, but it's taken me a lot of time to just get that little bit done. When you have a small shop like this, you have to be resourceful. You have to pay attention to where you put everything because it goes really quick. And this couch, let's talk about the couch here. The elephant in the room. This thing needs to get out of here, but my kids love sitting on it. It's all stained up now. It's only been out here for like a month, but well, probably a couple months, I guess now. But this thing needs to go. But anyway, we'll probably just leave it in here for now. Also, which this is going to seem backwards, but there's a series of trees right here in the back of the shop. There's like 4 or 5 trees right over here. We're at some point, maybe this year or next year, get these things cut down, ground down, and then we're going to extend the shop about another 15 feet back that way. And then I think we're going to do a lean-to on this side with a 10-foot pad over here, just to basically store a car or whatever we need to over here. And on this side, we're still waiting to do the lean-to as well over here. So I know this video is a little different, but we got to change it up every once in a while. I didn't get any work done this weekend on these cars, so this is what I've been doing. If I could give you any words of wisdom here, any advice, I do not care if you have a shop. I don't care if you're working out of your garage. I don't care if you live in an apartment and you're working out of the parking lot, okay? Because I've had to do it before. I've had friends that's had to do it. You can still invest in your tools and invest in yourself. You can buy a nice little toolbox that maybe goes in the back of your car, back of your truck, or whatever, up in your apartment. And just invest in some nice tools, something to help you whenever you work on your car, okay? Maybe you need some jack stands, or maybe you need some new wrenches or ratchets or whatever. Go to freaking Harbor Freight and get whatever you can get whatever you can afford. Spoil yourself, guys. It's tax season. I hope you guys at least are getting a little something back. I know a lot of you aren't. You're having to pay in. Spoil yourself a little bit. Also, probably wouldn't hurt to take the wife out to dinner too. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. And as always, thanks for watching.